Hey guys, Jessica here. Thank you so much for speaking with me this morning and accepting this free video. I am super excited that you did because today I'm going to show you 3 strategies you can start applying right away, and it's going to make a huge difference in your business. And I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys across the US, and it's made a huge impact in their business. Now, right now in the Twin Cities area, there are thousands of searches for these services every single month. Yet you're only getting one person organically to your website per month. Organically is when somebody does a search and then your website shows up, they click on it and land on your website, okay? So you're getting one of those. And that is somebody who already knows who you are. Unfortunately, 90% of the time when people are searching and they need help for a service, they don't know who you are yet, okay? They're not remembering billboards and traditional marketing methods when they're in those emergency situations, okay? They're going straight to Google. So you have to show up when people are searching for water damage in your area, okay? Roof repairs, etc. So if you're basing everything out of Fridley, then your homepage and all your pages need to be based on those Fridley local keywords, okay? That's going to be water damage Fridley, Fridley water damage restoration Fridley, okay? People search differently. You got to capitalize on the different ways people search. Now, over the last 18 months, Google has done a ton of changes on how they value websites, what they want to see, and how they're going to actually promote or help you rank a website, rank those keywords, okay? First factor is being mobile first. So having click-to-call buttons and making sure everything is mobile ready is number 1, okay? And then they went to people first, okay? So instead of having just basic general information about what you do and the different services, now we have to actually have really good information. We have to have helpful information that our customers are asking, okay? Google requires a separate page for all of your major services, like you've done here, so that's great. Google wants this because then you have one page designated to everything about that service. So for water damage, that could be different types of water intrusion. How does it happen? What do you do when you notice the water? What does your team do to rectify the situation? What type of equipment are they using? Okay. Having that kind of information gives you really good quality conversational information that answers your customers' questions and makes you the authority figure, makes you the expert on that topic. And it also allows you to use more of those local keywords so that you're showing up for the different searches people have, okay? Now this homepage here is the most important page because it tells Google what all of the pages of your website are about. So you do have to have separate information for all of your major services, okay? Before I get to that, you do have some great trust factors here, so all this stuff is good. We did find, I do know that you have a couple contact pages. What we've discovered is if you put that at the top up here, when people do start landing on your website, we see about a 70% difference in conversion rate by just moving them up here into the hero section, okay? So, you got reviews, you got trust factors, accolades, all that stuff is great. And then you do have just little itty bitty information here. Now, with Google, you need to do your priority first, okay? Are you a generalist that is good at everything, or are you an expert in something? Is there a certain job that out of everything that you do that you want to prioritize, okay? And if so, you need to do everything in that order. Okay, so if it's water damage, that needs to be a priority. If it's roofing, that needs to be priority. It should be on the top of everything, and it should have the most of the information. And everything else can just be a little information, okay? But you do have to have details on all your services, and it should have local keywords. So there's something for Google to index, okay? You do want to make sure that every image on your website is optimized with those local keywords. And I am happy to see you do have a service area page, but you don't actually have service area pages, okay? So Google is proximity based, so the closest somebody is to where you guys are at, the higher your chances of your website showing up, okay? And the keywords you're indexing for showing up. So having separate pages for all these major areas is going to be really important for you guys. So that you actually have the potential to show up in Minneapolis and Bloomington and Eden Prairie and Anoka and all these other places, okay? So service area pages are also going to be really critical for you. So definitely need to dial in your content and keyword strategy, and that is going to be absolutely significant. Now, your top competitor for water damage in Minneapolis is going to be SERVPRO, and yes, they're a franchise, but you're not competing against an entire franchise, only the local franchisees. And in Minneapolis, there's about 4 or 5 franchisees, okay? Each one only gets a handful of zip codes they're allowed to serve. And they are also at a disadvantage because SERVPRO and many of these franchises gives the franchisees this very generic information. They all say about the same thing. They just switch out owner information and phone numbers. Okay, they're not allowed to actually dial in a strategy that works best for them. So all you have to do is better. Okay, you need more content. Okay, your homepage needs at least 1,500 words or more. And when your competitors have 1,500 words, you want 2,000, okay? So we need more content and better quality and more of those long form blogs. And that's going to help you tremendously to be able to be more competitive and be able to outrank. Now, we know when your customers do a search on Google, they'll do something like this, right? And when they do, there's 3 main areas your website has the opportunity to be in the top positions for. The first are generally going to be your ads, and that could be your local service ads like these, or even your cost per click ad like this. Now, these can be really lucrative if that's what you want to do. But you do have to have all your processes dialed in. You have to have your good budgets set up. When you do cost per click, you have to make sure you have special designated landing pages, and you're not just sending people to these generic website pages where they're going to bounce off and not convert, okay? And then as long as you have an ad spend, leads generate, and when they stop, the leads go away, okay? Now, the other 2 sections are not dependent on an ad spend, okay? This section here, this is your Google Map Pack, okay? Those are the top 3 Google business listings. Now, this section is really critical because 30% of people skip everything else and they come right to the map pack, and they'll call these top 3 businesses. So when you're not one of those top 3, that's 30% of your potential revenue left on the table every single month. So your Google business profile is not something you just want to set and forget. You do have to work on it monthly, okay? You do need to optimize it and get citations. And citations are simply listing the name of the business, address, phone number, and website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like the Better Business Bureau, Yellow Pages, Yelp, Glassdoor, Angie's, Houzz, Home Advisor, and having all your social media profiles. Okay, all of those are great citations, and you need more than your competitors. And with that, it will help give you a good boost. Okay, and then this third section here, this is the most critical section. This is your organic section. This is where 60 to 70% of people come when they do a search. They will skip ads and the maps and come right here and go to these websites. So if your website does not show up here for these searches, okay, for each service and area you serve, That's 60 to 70% of jobs you're missing out on every single month. So in order for your website to show up here, it comes back to the foundation of this website. Do you have the right content and keyword strategy? And then are you supporting that with a good backlink SEO strategy? So if we go here, this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to show how your website is performing. Okay. Had to hit that refresh. Sorry about that. So right now, your website as a whole has a rating of a 1.6 out of 100 in Google's trust flow. So Google doesn't trust your website, and that's because the power you are sending to the website. Okay. Your website is a very powerful tool. But like most tools, they require power. So we send power with backlinks, okay? And a backlink is just another link coming from somebody else's website to your website, and it helps share the power of that website with you, okay? And so while we need a lot of those backlinks, not all backlinks are created equal. And we only want to go after the good do follow links that are closely related to your services. So those are going to be links from other home service businesses, related vendors, and directories. And the more you get of those good quality ones, the higher this score gets. And yes, we will need more than our competition, but only of the good ones, good quality links, okay? And they're going to help rank for keywords once you dial in a keyword strategy and get that content going. So right now, you've been indexed for one keyword, and you got one person organically hitting your website per month, and it is somebody searching for you specifically. So again, 90% of people, that's not what they're searching. They're searching for the services. And you guys got tons of services. So you're just definitely missing majority of your customers every single month not using these strategies. Now, if we look at SERVPRO, okay, this is just for one of the franchisee locations and one single page, okay? This is one page. This one page has a rating of a 4.5. They're not doing any SEO, which makes sense because they can't fix what's wrong. But the website for the franchise as a whole is very powerful at a 76. So it is able to spread its power back to these back pages, to each franchise location and all of their pages. And so this one page has been indexed for 7 keywords, and this one page is getting over 300 people to it organically every single month. And that's because if we look at those keywords, okay, there's 10 spots per page on Google, and they are on the first page, okay? And this one keyword here, water damage restoration Minneapolis, gets 600 searches, and water damage repair Minneapolis gets 400 searches per month, okay? That's just 2 keywords. So you can see how easy it is to miss out on all of these available jobs every month. And how critical it is to apply these strategies. So are these guys beatable? Absolutely, but you have to have these strategies in place. So please feel free to take this information, run with it, apply it yourself, and help more people in your community. But if you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a growth partner in this, at Peterson SEO, this is our specialty. We specialize in working with restoration companies just like you guys. So please feel free to reach out with any questions you might have, responding to my email, or give us a call, and we would be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.